Hey everyone, and welcome to my video. I'm going to do an altered book today, and this is the book that I'm altering. I got it for free. There's a used bookstore in our town, and they have a place outside that has free books in it, and I just picked it up from there. So, I just lost the page. So let's just flip through it real quick. I haven't really done a lot in this. I started to alter it some. See, this has got some paint on it, but I was just trying to I was just playing with color matching. And it actually matches the color pretty good, but of course this is glossy and then this is matte, see? So I was just kind of playing with color matching there. I haven't really done anything. I don't think I've done anything in the beginning because a lot of these are black and white. And then I've also, this is the one that I want to play with today, but let me work that. Let's just flip through it real quick. If you're familiar with Dede Willingham, this I just blacked out. She does a lot of abandoned places, altered books. In fact, she did one recently. This one I was kind of working on. And this one's finished. This is the very first one I ever did. And it turned out pretty cool. And it's just the Star-Crossed Lovers. And it's just really simple. It's mainly just black and white. And I painted these wings, which I am so proud of because I am not an artist. And then I did the little genie smoke or whatever, and of course that. But she does a lot of altered books, and she does a lot of night stuff like space. And I'm trying to get away from that. And I kind of started with the black because I was going to do that, and now I'm kind of rethinking it because I kind of want my own style. So this is mainly what I'm going to do, I think, to this book. And this was just a page, and this was here, the fence was here, and I believe this was here. And some of this tree was here, and then the rest of it I just painted. Just plain painted. And I thought it turned out great. I love it. I think it's wonderful. So I think I'm going to do more of that. I'm not sure. I kind of started on this one. This is kind of a different thing where this is all metallic. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but it just looks shiny. But this is like metallic paint, and I was kind of playing with that and then doing this and a little bit of gouache down here. So yeah, and this gouache on the little shrubs. Blacked out this and blacked out that. So one day I was just sitting watching YouTube videos and did all this. And this one's blue. This is the very first one I ever blacked out. And I did it because there's like blue behind here, but the blues are totally different. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I don't know if I have anything else done in this book. Oh, yes, I know I do. I don't know why I left that. That's so stupid. I just glued some trees on this one. I finished this one with the little galaxies, and this is very much kind of in the style of Dede. We got this down here. So that's kind of the path. It turned out pretty good. I know I've got one more in here at least. You got the cookie. The thing about this is I did this when I was on like keto. And I cut out this cookie out of a magazine, and then I kind of made it like a waterfall, and this is supposed to be space down here. And I think I'm going to go back and paint this more kind of like this side. Paint this more. But I was working on the little water, kind of like Dede. And, of course, I put a clock in there as an homage to Dede because she loves her timepieces. And these are stuck together always. So, yeah, this is way like the style of Dede. And I did this on purpose. I just wanted to see how much I could emulate her style without... I mean, I can't do Dede. Dede's an artist, and I am not. I'm much more of a crafter. But I did have fun playing with this. It was really cool putting this stuff in. And I was watching Stranger Things when I did it. So you can tell it's very much inspired by Stranger Things. And you got your little timepiece in here. I think that is the last one. So I had just got some gouache. If you don't know what gouache is, I got this from Hobby Lobby, and it was 50% off, so I got it for $3.99, which was really nice. And gouache is kind of like an opaque type of watercolor. So I thought that I would play with this a little bit in here. And this is what this page came like this, except for this. I glued this in many moons ago because I just thought it looked really good there. This is some kind of advertisement. And then over here I've just gathered some different elements that's kind of got the orange feel. So let's just kind of play around with it and see what we want to do. See what we want to do here. Kind of like you there. Oh, that looks good. Sometimes to me this is the hardest part. Just figuring out. That looks good, but I don't want to lose that element because that's really cool. Or that. Could do that. That leaves that though. Let's work on the other side. That looks good. I like that. I know it's glary, but there's nothing I can do. It's glossy. Ugh, and I've got a cold, so if I start sneezing or snorting, you know what's going on. I'd gotten these little doors, and I kind of started my inspiration of picking out the random things I did. I was thinking like the doors of perception. Opening up the doors to different worlds. I kind of like that. Kind of like that, but I really don't like this. Do I have anything at all I can put there? If I put that there, though, kind of ruins. I was thinking some water. I got this. It's kind of like my focal. I'll use that as kind of a light. It'll be kind of like a door. I'm going to make this kind of like a door. Could have a splash that way. It's too much of a hole. I like that better. Got another door here. Should I put that instead of the little house? Door. I like the swirl. I like that there. I like that. So let's, okay. Here we go. I'm just going to use a glue stick because, you know, I don't really care too much about this book. I got it for free. I got it just so that I could alter it and play because I wanted to, and you know, I love Dede, but I'm not Dede, and I don't want to do the same things that Dede does. I just don't. I want to be my own granimal. Granimal. Y'all even remember granimals? They were like graham crackers that looked like animals. All right, everybody off. All right, I think I'm going to play with some gouache. I do have a little bit here, but I'm looking for another palette. I can't find a clean one. I've got watercolor and everything in this. Brr. What am I going to do? All right, I know what I'm going to do. Put it on this. I need a kind of an orange color. This is more of it's kind of like an orange red. Oh, you can't even see it. Here we go. And I'm going to put a little bit of yellow in it. All right. Some drops of water. That's a pretty orange, don't you think? It's not really that orange, though. It's a darker orange. Kind of wanted a lighter orange. Ah! I'm so messy. You can tell I'm definitely not a professional anything here. I'm a professional player. Did I even tell you what I'm mixing this on? Yeah, I like that better. Yes, that's much. What I'm trying to do is kind of match that. That's much, much better. So I don't know how well gouache will even work on this. It looks like it's going to beat up a lot, which is fine. I kind of just want that sense of color. I don't want so much like if you were using acrylics. Oh, I went right over the sun. Let's not do that. There's a cat hair in there. I may end up having to go back over the sun right there. There we go. I just want some hints of orange here and there. That's pretty good. Oh, your wing's going to be right in the ditch. Just adding some color in here to try to just alter it up a little bit before I start gluing some things down. This is almost too orange, I see, but it's fine. It's fine! Because if it matched exactly, then it wouldn't be much of a alteration now, would it? Because I do kind of want it to look like, you know, water, but I also kind of want it to look like the water is like on fire. Fire water. I don't want the straight horizon. I want it like really splashy up into the sky. And I want some good contrast here. wispies are here. Now the thing is, when you start stuff like this, it just really never, ever, ever tends to be what you thought it would be. You start it and then you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's what we're doing now. And that's kind of where we are with this. Because I didn't really think about like at the ocean of fire. But then once I put this orange on here, I started thinking, well, it does kind of look almost fire-ish, right? So, have any of you guys do altered books? Do you do what Dede does with the whole? See now, see this is perfect. So I didn't know what I was going to do with this, and now I've got it like splashing up, like it's coming up out of the sea here. I like that. I like it. So do you guys do? Oh dear, how'd you get on there? Put you over here. Do you guys do altered books? Do you do like the abandoned places like Dede? And I know that a lot of people do the abandoned places, and Dede does such a good job with it. I just never have gotten into that because I just could never do it justice the way Dede does. And like I said, I kind of like finding my own voice. Sometimes you just got to find your own voice in your head. And I wouldn't want to do it and go, well, this doesn't look like Dede's. Of course it doesn't. I'm not Dede. Get out there. I think a lot of people get caught up in that. They see Dede's wonderful work and they forget she's an artist. She's, I think she went to school to be an artist, right? I'm pretty sure about that. I didn't. I cannot draw. I've tried. I even did like the drawing on the right side of the brain, and I can kind of sort of do it, but to be honest, I don't have the patience to draw. And I really came to figure that out. Oh, almost ripped his little wing off. Cat hair. I found that out really when I was doing drawing on the right side of the brain. There you go. Because I just realized that it just took so long, and I would just get so bored with it. And so I'd begin really good, and then towards the end, it would start looking terrible because I just lose patience. It was like, gee, I just want to be done already. It's just kind of who I am, I guess. It's just indicative of my nature. As you can see, I'm doing this quite quickly. All right, what did I decide? Was I going to put the house there or not? I know I was going to put the fairy there, so let's go ahead and put her in. So, Dede spends a lot of time with placement and figuring out what she wants with everything. And I'm just not the same. I'm just not that way. I'm more of just throw it on there. Let's see what works. Really like that. Yeah. And usually it's because I don't have a lot of time to art. It'd be nice if I did, but I usually have a few minutes here and there. while, right before I cook when I get off work, because I work from home a lot. That's good. So I can do it then, which is nice. Oh, I'm running out of glue stick. I do it on the weekends sometimes, but I'm a competitive clogger. That takes up a lot of time, a lot of weekends as I'm traveling to compete. Because when you compete, you don't compete in your hometown. You got to travel. But I love it because I love my girls. I love the girls that I dance with. They are some fabulous women. God has blessed me greatly with these girls. And they're all about 10 years younger than me, at least. We got anywhere from 14 years old here in a couple of days to me, who's almost 50. And the next youngest to me, the next oldest, I guess I should say, not youngest, but the next oldest is just turned 40. So I am 10 years older than anybody. If I do that, I'm going to cover up the sun. I don't really want to do that. Maybe you're not going to be used. Sorry, dude. Kind of like the way this is looking. Now, what I want to do around the doors is I want some black. Or maybe I should do a dark blue. Do I really want to put it on this? I guess I will. I guess I could do this. There we go. Oh, I have not used this yet. Yes. That's a beautiful blue. This set, I was kind of upset because I was really hoping for a magenta. Because, have I used this yet? I think so. Is this the one I was using? Because I just watched this video about primary colors, and it was saying how that you always think primary colors are yellow, red, and blue. Ooh, no. I may end up having to. Oh, I know what I want to do. I know what I'm going to do. Change of plans. Yikes. So funny, I pulled out 3 Sharpies and every one of them was green. Okay. So anyways, she was saying that really when you're painting and mixing colors, what you should use is cyan, which is like a light blue, if you really want to think of it that way, like a sky blue, right? And magenta, I got stuff. Oh no, it's not. That's part of the picture. Ha ha. So anyways, she was saying the primary colors are actually magenta, cyan, and yellow. So, and she was like, if you have those, you can pretty much mix any color. And then she was like showing some examples. Boy, this is not juicy at all. Let's just get, it's not working. Do you hate it when things don't work? That's okay. Because I have my handy dandy little black bottle here. And I'm just going to Put out a little bit. Oh, of course, it's clogged. Nothing's working for me today, and I don't feel good. I don't think I had the cap on this very good. I noticed that the other day when I went to use it. I was like, ugh. Why is nothing going right for me today? Turn on the camera, they said. Film a video, they said. There we go. Alrighty then. I need a place to put some water. I love my little thing here. And yeah, I don't care. This is dirty water. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to be mindful of where I am in the camera. It's just sometimes it's difficult. So anyways, back to the primary colors. That was just really interesting to me. It was something that I had never heard because I never took art or anything when I was in school. When I was in school, I took a lot of advanced classes. So I never had a chance to explore any of the arts like chorus or anything like that. All my time was taken up with advanced math and science and English. All that stuff that I needed to go to college and get a heads up for college. Because I was smart. And guess what? I never even went to college. Let me go on a little podium here. There we go. We'll put some black on that too. Kind of rough it up. I ended up going to tech school. Because I didn't want to spend all that time and money for college. There we go. I know this is not going to be all that great, but hey, this is my book and I like it. And it's fun. It's just fun to be creative. So it's not going to be a masterpiece. Who cares? It's not going to end up in the Louvre. I need some more black paint. Here we go. This doesn't look like it. I wanted it to in my mind with the doors, but it is what it is now, right? It is what it is. I'm quiet because I was trying to think, do I want to do something? I think I'm just going to leave that as is. A little swirl black. Yeah, baby. I kind of wanted to include this because there's a hurricane down in Florida getting ready to happen. And my in-laws are actually in Florida at the moment. They have a house down there. And so they're on my mind as they ride out the storm. I'm in here arting and doing this. What I really should be doing is packing because I have competition tomorrow. And I don't even know where my dress is. Story of my life. It'll be fine. I've got 2 more competitions this year and we're done. So this is actually our first national competition. We're going to be going to Nashville to the Opryland Hotel. Ah! That was wet and I put my hand in it. And I'm really excited to go to the Opryland Hotel because I have not been probably since I was 17. So yeah, that was a long time ago. Let's give this a little shadow here. Kind of anchor it in its environment a little bit here. Just nothing major, just a little subtle blackness so that it doesn't look like it's just kind of floating there. I don't use acrylics a lot. I don't really like acrylics because I feel like I waste paint a lot, even though it's cheap. So, I mean, I shouldn't feel that way. But I much more like to use like watercolor. Glue that in. Get a little. Oh, that was way too much black. Oh, I'm not even on screen. I put way too much black there, so now I'm just improvising. I guess y'all have noticed that most of my stuff is just improvising, right? Ooh. So up here, if you wanted to know, I've got a little pad of cheap watercolor paper. This is like the first one, but I got this like at Dollar Tree. So I use it to kind of just wipe off my brushes. And I also have this that I use. And these are just like dots. And then I can like peel them off and like, use them. So they could be planets or whatever. So yeah, I kind of like them. I think they're pretty neat. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm just taking a little bit of that black. Because I just cleaned off my brush, but I wanted to add some darkness to the sky. And I also wanted to kind of anchor this a little bit. So I'm using some of that water and I'm just kind of smudging it in. I don't want anything, that's the opposite. I don't want anything major like that, like I just did. But just some random darkness. I'm going to say it again, guys. I am not an artist. I'm just not. I'm a crafter, if anything. I need to glue that down better. But Dede really inspired me. I started watching Dede Willingham. I started watching her replays of her Ustreams. And I got really inspired by like the magazine journals and stuff that she was doing, how she was just taking basically junk and making these beautiful things out of them. And I just loved it. I just loved it so much, fell in love with it. So I started kind of doing that. And then when, watching her altered books and stuff, it looked like fun. So I got this book and thought I would just try it. And I haven't done a lot, as you can see in this. I'm still kind of trying to find what my style is and how I want to do it. Because, like I said, I want my own style. I don't want Dede's style. I mean, I don't have any qualms about people who do the abandoned places and all that and do it pretty much Dede style. I'm trying to think of the YouTuber's name. I know her name's Tracy because that's my name. Nana's Place. She does like abandoned places very much in the style of Dede. And it turns out great. I mean, she's got lovely, lovely things. Love her stuff. But what I was saying was, I started watching Dede, and she was doing, I think one of the first videos I saw was she was doing like the little magazine journals, which I love. Magazine playgrounds, I think is what she calls them. And I thought it was so great, and I loved it so much. And I wanted to do it myself like that. So I did, and watching Dede, she was always talking about being creative. And since that time, I have come to believe that being creative is important for your life. It certainly made a difference in mine. I'm a computer programmer by trade. And because of that, I know you can't see me, I'm just putting some paint on here. And part of that is that I have to problem solve like a lot. Like a lot. And being creative, I was trying to get a dark color here, but still kind of orange. That works. Being creative really helps me in my job, and I really didn't realize that at first until I had to come up with a solution for something. Something happened at work. I really don't remember now, but something happened, and nobody knew what to do. And at this time, I had been playing a lot with colors and collage and just really trying to find my collage voice. um, and I said, well, hey, why don't we do such and such? And everybody just looked at me like, oh my gosh, that is so simple. Why didn't I not think of that? And that's when I realized, hey, it is important. And then I just started noticing, like in my day-to-day life, that as I approach these problems, that it's so, so much easier for me to do all this when I've been creative. If I am creative in some capacity on a regular basis, my day-to-day job is so much easier because I can come up with solutions to things way faster than I was in the past. Now I'm kind of just using this blue straight. I'm just trying to bring some depth to the picture. That's too much depth. Just trying to bring in some depth here. And just trying to kind of blend some things in. And then once I get this blue on here, then I'm probably going to come back with some more orange. I'm just trying to go kind of in the dark places and not really change the tone, but just kind of add some of my own touches. And I don't want anything like defined. I want it very loose. I got that hard edge right there, so I'm just kind of trying to blend it out as best I can. And I mean, I really am not going to be able to. I'm going to have to leave it just kind of like that. But as long as it kind of looks like it belongs there, I think we're golden. Golden. All right. As you see, I'm just wiping this off. Muddy colors. All right. Going back in with some orange, and I think I really want that red orange kind of pure. I've been reading a lot about gouache. I've never used gouache before, but I did want to try some, and I've been reading about it. One thing people say is you got to be careful about using too much because it will flake off. Like if it's real thick, if you try to do it thick, that it will flake, which I thought was interesting. And they were talking about like, because it reactivates like watercolor. Which is cool. But it cracks. When it gets dry, it cracks real bad. And also, since it reactivates with water, if you try to layer it, then it's going to your colors are going to get muddy. So you got to be careful with that. So like I'm going over this blue, but the water is kind of reactivating it. So it's kind of reactivating the blue paint, which is fine because I mean, I really don't care. I'm just trying to do this quickly and just playing with color and just being creative while I have the time. All right. Now what I'm going to do is we've got this sun here. I'm going to put this dot where the sun was. I'm going to make this. And I just want to bring that sun down. I think I need some white in that. My goal is to try to kind of make the water look like an oil painting. I'm losing my dot. That's not as subtle as I wanted it to be. But it is what it is now. Alright. It is what it is. Okay, that looks cool. I like that. Improvisation feels good. Alright, I've got some white gouache over here. I'm going to add a little bit more white. Alright, now I need to clean off my brush really good because I want to go in with some white. And I really want it to be pure white. Need to suck up some more water. Now, the reason I do my water this way is because I have a cat who enjoys drinking my paint water. So, I started putting my water in a jar with a lid so that she couldn't get to it. And she's mad at me because of that. But hey, paint water is not good for her. And if I had my clean water out, she would drink it dry. She wouldn't drink her nice water that I put out for her every day. Oh no, not that. What, Mom? Cleans out my little bowl and gives me fresh water? How dare she when there's stale paint water in the art studio? Alright, now I just got a little baby wipe here. I'm trying to get all that orange off. It's not really working. Matter of fact, I really don't want to use that brush. I want to use this brush. It had magenta on it earlier. I just dropped it in the floor. I hope I feel better tomorrow. I actually don't feel too bad. My husband felt much, much worse. He came home 2 days ago feeling really bad. He took a bunch of Benadryl and went to sleep. Basically slept for 48 hours. He went back to work today. I'm going to dry this real quick, just so it doesn't react as much. Oh, I just realized there's a little place between her legs. That's why I really was wanting to do something with that. I did not line that up very good because it was supposed to fall on her head and then over, but it didn't work. That's okay. Good enough, right? Close enough for grenades and government work. Okay, originally I was going to make this like a light that spewed up, but I think I'm going to make it more like a fountain. Spewing water over. Picked up some of that blue. Try not to overwork it because, like I said, it's going to reactivate the colors that are underneath. So it's kind of hard to work with gouache in that sense. You got to know your brush strokes. You got to be deliberate with your brush strokes. You can't overwork something like crazy. Kind of like I like to do. See if I can fuzz this out maybe with a baby wipe. Ah, I went heavy-handed and took it all off. kind of like the wind coming through. Okay, guys, I think I'm done. So what do you think? Is it terribly awful? We got some rhubarb up here. A little swirly thing. We got a statue. We got a crazy sun. I think the sun turned out really cool. We got some doors. We got a couple of fountains. A little fairy with a dot up here. I had something over here. I don't know what happened to it now. But I had something to put up there. Oh well, it's gone now. Anyways, that took us about an hour. Not bad. Just having some fun. So, you know, abandoned books. Altering books isn't scary. So many times I hear people say, oh, I'm afraid to alter a book. I'm afraid to ruin it. And the thing is you're never going to start a book perfect. I'm sure the first time Dede did something, it was terrible. Dede learned by doing it 1,000 times. That's her thing, is do it. You don't know what you can do until you do it, and it's not going to be perfect the first time you do it. But you get in there and you play, and you got to have fun with the playing process. It's not so much the finished product, but it's the playing. Like that sun. The sun is everything. I love the sun in this. I would have never done that if I didn't screw it up. I screwed up that part. Who cares? I put some white everywhere. I added some black to that to give it some dimension. But the thing is, the next time that I do that with something like this, it's going to look better. And I may do the sun like that deliberately. I learned something from every time that I do this. And, you know, I really wanted to work with gouache, so I did not know how it was going to do on this page. And I've got to say, it did. It turned out fabulous. It looks great. Of course, if any water gets on this ever, it's just going to wash right off. But it was fun to play with because, it was something that I had. So, yeah, just get out there and play, guys. Don't worry about if it comes out good or bad. Just glue some stuff in a book and go for it. I'll talk to you guys later. And until then, go out and be creative because it's important for your life.